Hello, I'm Susan Cadeau. Welcome to ONR. Many Muslims in Oklahoma say they feel just like they did after 9/11, marked with suspicion because of their religion, their wardrobe, language, and their accents. The terrorist attack in San Bernardino, followed by remarks from a presidential candidate and others in the spotlight, have created a renewed fear and a heightened sense of alert among Muslims. Religious leaders say they believe their fears are justified because some people believe the Muslim religion is synonymous with terror.
While the call to prayer has not been disrupted at Tulsa's Al Salam Mosque, the lives of Muslims who attend here have been disrupted in recent weeks. Imam John Ederer leads the congregation.
There's an idea of the feeling of the need to be reclusive right now, to just stick with your family, your mosque, what you're comfortable with.
Aliyah Shimmy is a community liaison.
Some ladies have even approached me and said, you know what, I'm so scared to even walk outside that they're going to take off their scarves. I mean, if you can imagine that they are so threatened that they're going to take off something that is so sacred to them, if you could imagine that, then that's unfortunately what we're having to deal with.
The terrorist attacks in Paris and on American soil in San Bernardino, California, coupled with statements like this from presidential candidate Donald Trump, have heightened their fears.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
The student body at Liberty University in Virginia, the largest Christian university in the world, heard this from school president Jerry Falwell Jr. as he called on students to get permits to carry guns.
If more good people had concealed carry permits, then we could end those Muslims before they walk in and kill it.
The applause garnered from the remarks is even more worrisome to Ederer.
They're playing a game with politics. They know what they're saying is very politically correct to a whole bunch of people.
Zahir Arestu is the principal of the Peace Academy, a private Islamic school adjacent to the mosque.
We studied all kinds of things throughout history, and I think we all have studied, the rise of the Nazis in Germany. And I think we have seen a very clear parallel between the kind of statements Donald Trump has made and the statements that Hitler himself made. And the kind of things that he's calling for Muslims are exactly what Hitler called for the Jews in Germany. That should scare everybody.
Adolf Hitler grew the Nazi Party with fiery speeches to instill fear in the masses of their Jewish neighbors, claiming Jews had no allegiance to Germany and threatened to dominate the world. Before World War II ended Hitler's regime, close to 6 million Jews died in Nazi death camps. Mark Fitzerman, who is rabbi of Tulsa's B'nai Emunah synagogue, says he can hardly fathom that the talk of blocking Muslims from entering the U.S. is taking place now some 73 years after the Holocaust.
My in-laws were liberated at Bergen-Belsen after the Second World War. They had a child in that camp, and they waited for many years to gain entry into this country. The idea that their way could have been blocked by religious discrimination, it's just antithetical to everything that I believe.
Discrimination against and the safety of Oklahoma Muslims is concerning to law enforcement. Tulsa Police Chief Chuck Jordan, who visited the mosque this week, says his department has a close relationship with members of the mosque.
I am very happy with the relationship we've had with the mosque. They've been very, very open. They work regularly with my officers, with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
United States Attorney for the Northern District of Oklahoma, Danny Williams, joined FBI agents at the mosque this week to give adults training in cybersecurity for their children. It is one of several ongoing meetings at the mosque involving concerns unique to the Muslim community.
And the department and the Obama administration has really made a push to reach out. And so part of our outreach is to talk about traveling when you're Muslim.
Williams says they're also asking members of the congregation to be vigilant.
We certainly have talked to the community and the leaders here at the mosque about radicalization and coming forward to law enforcement if they see that type of activity.
If we're able to stop something if we know, report it, or if they know that something is going on and they're able to report that to us to keep us safe, that's imperative.
Shimmy says law enforcement responds quickly to any concerns they might have.
We've been fortunate here in Tulsa that we haven't had any incidents here in the mosque. We've had individuals reporting hate speech, whatnot, to us, students in school being called terrorists and things like that.
Principal Arestu says they encourage students to talk about their worries.
If you're, a younger child and you can't necessarily understand bigger concepts, you're just like, why does everyone hate us? Why is, and why did that happen to you, Mom, in the store? Why did this happen to you? People got spit on last week. One of our parents was at Sprouts and someone spit on them.
My parents are always talking about how to be safe, because you don't always know what people will think about you or how they'll react to seeing you.
Peace Academy seniors Bishra Akel and Amira Hamami are cautious but not afraid.
I think this is the time when I shouldn't be that afraid. I think this is a time where I need to actually hold on to my faith even stronger. And I think it's my duty to educate those people who are afraid of me. It's my duty to educate them about that. This has nothing, I'm not a terrorist because of this scarf. It doesn't make me a terrorist.
Talk to them with a smile. Let them know that you're a friend, you're not the enemy or a terrorist that they see on TV.
Allison Moore asks for responsible journalism.
We see this double standard where if a Muslim is involved in the shooting, it's called an act of terrorism. But if it's a person of any other faith, then the individual is called mentally deranged or disturbed, or they're upset or stressed out. And we write that off as just a homicide.
Spokesperson for the Islamic Council of Oklahoma, Cheryl Sadaki, says persecution born out of ignorance can be overcome.
We'd be thrilled if it wasn't as painful. But we understand that this is a process, and just historically, if we look back, we know that we're going to get through this just like everybody else did. We're already living the American dream.